All right, so I did this talk the other day. Unfortunately, I didn't have the microphone pack charged, so we're gonna give this another go. What we talked to the whiteboard the other day is hydration myths. So I asked everybody, how do you know when to drink? And most people, gave out either I was thirsty or I was told to drink this much, but there are some definite hydration myths that I look to dispel with this conversation. And I want to start right off the bat by saying when you should drink is when you are thirsty. It's as simple as that. Every other bit of information you've heard is either trying to sell you something or give you impractical advice based on high-level endurance sports. Not really realistic for what we do in here day in and day out. So the very first hydration myth is drink until urine is clear. And that's actually potentially an indication that you are overhydrated. There are many factors that play into the color of your urine: your exercise, how much you've sweat that day, what you had for food, what you've had for drink, or if you've had supplements. There are people who take in things like multivitamins and then pee very strange colors like bright green and bright yellow. Color of your pee is a very poor indicator of your hydration level because pee should naturally have byproducts in it through the metabolism of your body and the things that you take in, and naturally change color with what you've put into your body and what you've done for activity. So pee color, not a great indication of hydration. Second one is that when you feel thirsty, you are dangerously dehydrated. I want you to think of this in the same way you would hunger. You wouldn't say that if you were hungry, let's say around lunchtime, that you're dying of hunger. It's just the same way you're not dying of thirst. Thirst is a natural mechanism within your body that is kicked on when the homeostasis, just meaning the balance that's supposed to be there of your hydration level, is lower than it needs to be, and your body asks you to drink water. So think of thirst the same way you think of hunger. If you are thirsty, drink. If you are hungry, eat. And realize that these are signals from your body to try to get you to live in homeostasis, which just means like in your day-to-day. The third thing is that you need sports drinks. Unfortunately, just about every single thing on the market is isotonic, which means the sodium concentration in the beverage isn't great enough to change the sodium levels in your bloodstream. And as a result, these drinks can further cause electrolyte imbalances, which is something we're going to talk about a bit more when we get to point number 5 here. But essentially, these drinks often come with carbohydrates included in them, and they don't do any better job of hydrating than water would. If you're really looking to get something other than water in your body, you might look into an electrolyte supplement, but a lot of those also have electrolyte levels that are lower than is necessary to change the isotonic nature of your blood, which means, again, the drink and the blood are about the same concentration of sodium. Moving on to number 4, dehydration decreases performance. They've actually found that runners who are the most dehydrated at the end of the race often have better split times than people who are well hydrated. So there is something to say that dehydration can impair performance, but that typically doesn't occur until about 3 to 4% of your body weight lost during the event. So bad news, everybody, you don't need a water break during the middle of your workout because you're not losing 3 to 4% of your body mass in the middle of Murph. You're probably losing 0.03%. So dehydration does not decrease in performance, obviously up to a certain point, but realistically speaking, 1 to 2% dehydration that may occur in a very long workout here isn't going to be enough to kick you into a situation where you're concerned that your dehydration level is the reason why you are not performing in the gym. And then last but not least, you can't drink too much water. Unfortunately, you can drink too much water. There's something called EAH, which is exercise-associated hyponatremia, which basically means due to the exercise effect, the cause of sweating, you have now let go of too much sodium via salt, and now your blood concentration is going below a certain level. As a result, people lose some electrolytes. The impulse is to drink water. Well, if you drink more water, you further dilute your blood and make it more water than it is sodium. If you get to a certain extent, the cells in your body have more sodium inside of them that is in your blood. And as a result, we want to push fluid into the cell, and this can cause the cells to rupture. Probably not a huge issue if it's a few cells, but you start doing that to your brain, you get swelling, and unfortunately this can kill you. So there was a thing in, I don't know the year, I'm gonna date myself here. When did the Wii come out? 2005, where they had a competition, hold your Wii to win a Nintendo Wii, and they killed somebody. She overconsumed water, had this brain swelling and died. So you can die from drinking too much water. So what should you do? Simply drink when you're thirsty and you'll avoid all of this. If you struggle to drink water, maybe you do look into an electrolyte or you put a little pink salt or lime juice in your water. That helps you drink a little bit more, great. But again, you can overhydrate, especially if you adhere to one of those, like you must replace 20 fluid ounces every 30 minutes of exercise in hopes of like getting ahead of it. Oftentimes you see those folks who try to get ahead of it with some hydration schedules actually end up with EAH and die as a result. So just something to be concerned about when it comes to hydration. Drink when you are thirsty, don't if you're not.